What's up guys, Austin back with another rowing video. Today we're going to talk about the top 3 biggest mistakes that people make while using the rowing machine and exactly how you can fix them. Now I know you came here for answers, so I'm not going to waste your time. We're going to get right into it with number 3, and that is relying on our foot straps. Just because your feet are strapped into the rowing machine doesn't mean that we need to use them to accomplish the rowing stroke. And what I mean by that is relying on the foot straps to pull ourselves up to take the next stroke. I mean, I could lie back here with lying behind and I can use my foot straps to pull myself up like this. But does that mean it's the right thing to do? No. Because if we're taking rowing strokes and we're relying too much on our foot straps to pull ourselves back up, that's going to lead to hip pain, and it really disengages our core from helping perform the stroke. So what is the drill you can use to fix this? Well, I've covered it before, but we'll cover it here as well, and that is the feet out rowing drill. It's as simple as that. Unstrap your feet and put your feet on top of the foot straps, and now try rowing. Now be very careful when you do this. If you're take it nice and slow that first stroke, because if you don't, you're going to fly off the seat. And if you land on this rail, I don't think there's anything in life, maybe giving birth hurts more, but this has got to be a close second, is landing on this rail. So be very careful when you're taking feet out rowing strokes. Remember to break that stroke down into its core sequence of driving with the legs, swinging back with the core, and then finishing with the arms. And take note of how much you might have been relying on your feet to pull yourself back up. If your feet aren't strapped in, that's going to force your body to rely on using your core to swing forward and come up to take the next stroke. Now, the second biggest problem people have when using the rowing machine is letting the stroke sequence kind of blend together. Now, what do I mean by this? I've said it time and time again, the stroke sequence can be broken down into 3 main parts, with that first initial leg drive, then the swing back using the core, and then the pull with the arms at the finish. But especially for new rowers, as we fatigue, as we row for longer than probably a couple minutes, if we lose focus of that stroke sequence, it can all blend together into a sort of mush where your legs come up, your arms come up, all at the same time, your body's, it all just kind of melts together. And when it melts like that, we lose all of the efficiency that we can have if we did this stroke properly. Not only do you lose efficiency, but it will tire you out more. You will get more tired and perform worse if you let everything melt together. And it can lead to injury as well. It's overall something that we don't want to make a habit of doing. So how do we reinforce the stroke sequence? Guys, that is done by doing one of the most basic drills, the pick drill. It helps us break down the stroke into the individual components. So you start the pick drill sitting with your legs flat, sitting up tall but leaning back with the handle pulled into your chest. That is called the finish of the stroke. And from this position, for the first minute, you come out arms only. Arms only. And then after that first minute, then we go arms, lean the core forward. Core arms, arms core. Just like that for the next minute. And then the final minute, arms, core, then add in the legs. Legs, core, arms, core, legs. Breaking down the stroke sequence like that will help ingrain that into your brain a little bit more. And as you get better and better at rowing, you won't have to think about it as much. It will become more natural. But we need to practice these good habits as soon as we can. And the number one problem people have when using the rowing machine, I've covered it in an entire video on it. It is knee bounce. Knee bounce. It is killing any sort of fitness gains you're trying to make on this machine. So what is knee bounce? Basically, it comes down to a total breakdown of any connection you could possibly have with this machine for each stroke that you take. Instead of holding the stroke down and finishing with legs flat, handle into our chest, and sitting back with our core tight, what happens is the stroke never quite finishes and the knees bounce ourselves up as the handle finishes into the chest. It's a complete disconnection of every stroke that you take, and I love to reference this to the deadlift motion. Imagine doing a deadlift like this, where before you bring the bar all the way up, you're already starting to bend your knees to come back down. There is just no power in taking strokes like that. And if you're doing a distance workout, you're going to be there for a while. And this really comes down to working smarter and not harder. And we can address this issue with taking pause strokes. Now with pause strokes, they can be done at different parts of the stroke, but there are two main portions of the stroke that will help the most. While taking a pause stroke, drive throughout the stroke and then at the finish, hold for about 2 seconds. So again, we come up, drive, pause for 2 seconds, and then come back out. By pausing at the finish, there's no way you can let your knees kind of spring and bounce. You're forced to hold them down, and then that leg drive that you initiated with, that power is thoroughly transferred into the stroke. Now, if you want a little bonus practice, you can also throw in a pause at arms and core. So, imagine driving back, coming into the finish, then back out. Arms, core, pause. And then let the legs come back up. That also just helps to ingrain the stroke sequence so that you can get better practice with rowing efficiently. Because yes, rowing is probably one of the most challenging physical activities that you can do. And I know you want to work hard. I know you do. But you can work smart and hard and get the most out of this machine. So there you have it, guys. The top 3 mistakes and issues that people have when using the rowing machine and the drills that you can use on how to fix them. Now, if you want to see a video of me going through these drills more in depth and maybe have you follow along, let me know down in the comments below and I can do that for you. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Let me know what you want to see down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.